shadows dance and play. Exploration calls us to take the skies again. Together we'll find what we lost in the fray.
Oh, there
Hello,
are.
everybody,
Okay.
and welcome to welcome to Moonstruck Saga episode 12. So we have the main character energy group here today, and everything that happened in yesterday's game is happening around the same time as this game, because we know yesterday's game showed up here and helped them out, and they definitely helped them.
Helped, heavy quotations.
It's like they did their best. They just rolled not their best.
They also cut the moon.
Don't worry, they're on their way to repair it. The moon has its own way of repairing. So then let's just get to introducing players and get started on this one. So we've got Senior Officer Leo, played by Leo.
Hello, everybody.
We got Officer Nichol, played by Professor Winter.
Hey.
We got Officer K, played by Caustic.
I have chicken and dumplings.
And we got Simmons, played by Chris.
Are we still falling?
Oh, let me get here. Hold on. I've got the. Here you go. This is where we're starting.
Yeah, ha ha hooey. I love that there's the hand. POV,
The hand
you are
is
falling
perfect.
down a pit.
It's like, okay, you two, you are falling down this pit. It was quite you walked a little as you were running away from this Indiana Jones style. Simmons, you are on Kay's back,
Drunk.
clinging, completely hammered from a moon cheese.
I forgot I was drunk. Okay.
And you steer Kay into this giant hole, and as you are falling, you hear a rolling coming, then blocking out the light. But before the light goes out, what do you see?
I mean, looking at this picture, I see a giant hand, but
I think that's a succulent plant that just looks a lot like hands.
okay. So we definitely have a long way to go. I know that much.
You said it was dark down here. So there's not any bioluminescent anything?
There could be. But there's gonna be a moment of not, and then your eyes can adjust, or your leaves can adjust.
They do?
But then, yeah, absolutely, there could be bioluminescence down here.
Heck yeah, I love a bioluminescent cave.
I want to ask how far you fall. Basically, yeah, I want to ask how far we think you fall, but I want you two to roll for me. And if you're trying to control the fall, or guide yourselves to a safer fall, tell me how, and I can give you extra dice for it.
I think that Simmons is giving me a disadvantage because he's drunk.
Just flailing constantly.
And it is.
I'm just gonna fight against you the whole time.
The drunk man is just holding on, just ah!
I feel like I'm trying to get to the wall, but not in a way that's very helpful.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one it is. There's a spell scroll or a spell that can create a fake floor or something that Kay would be probably trying to cast. I don't remember what it's called, but I feel like that's Kay's trying to do that while a screaming bat is on his shoulders. So I don't know how well that's going to work out for them.
All right, absolutely. You give me 2d20 and take the 2d12
12.
and take the lower, and Simmons, you give me 1d12 and just take that.
12.
Simmons is amazing.
Shockingly, I got a 7, which is apparently adventure.
Absolutely. All right. Simmons, as you fall, this place goes dark. And it's like you can feel the rush of wind across your face as you're falling. And this is the first time since you got on the moon that you felt a breeze. This is fantastic. It's like, oh, you didn't realize how still it felt. Because even underground in the echo, like, there's breezes, of course. Like, it's still air is dead air. You know this cave system like the back of your hand. Where, like, land us in the most interesting part down here. Like, let me show you what it looks like, and you tell me what makes it interesting to you.
Okay.
Okay. Down here, this is... It's buzzing like a machine. And we would recognize it as almost like electronics whirring. But they are all plants. The whole thing is like biological.
It's just like I innately am like, oh yeah, I know this. This is
Exactly.
Unix. I know this.
Yeah, exactly that. 1,000% that. I think it's like a map system that might work on echolocation or something like that.
I mean, we have been screaming the whole. Well, I've been screaming the whole way down. So
Exactly.
maybe- okay.
You're screaming on the way down, pointed out like the path you needed to go. It's just like, oh, it's right down there. The same way that yesterday, Isaac picked up a crystal and knew what a switch was.
Mm-hmm.
You screamed in a tunnel and knew where to go.
What a sentence.
That is how echolocation works.
Right? And okay, so I'm And you want to tell me where you want me to tell you what is interesting here that I picked up on?
Or what would you be looking for? I've got a bunch of different maps, so like you tell me the kind of stuff that you would find interesting. Or what would Simmons innately be looking for?
Okay, well, what was our original goal was to well, before we fell out of here, we were just trying to get away from a gigantic rolling ball of a person.
Yeah, we were before that. We were just leaving the castle.
Yeah. So I think he is looking for some. Oh man, he's also drunk though.
Are you looking for a friend?
I think I'm looking for.
Someone to hold back your hair as you throw up.
No, I think he's looking for something to put in front of, like something to like dive behind, basically, so that the giant rolling thing behind us can go past.
Okay,
Looking for
a
like an
little
alcove. Yeah.
Absolutely. Here we go.
I mean, buddy, it's stuck in the hole. Did you not hear the thump?
I thought wait.
It'll fall after us in the future.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right.
But you're drunk, so I'm pretty sure you probably thought it's still coming for us.
Yeah, that worked.
All right. In front of you, you two, are just very strange machines because we play close to computers, but we don't actually use computers, not fully yet. Like, you can tell this is a kind of tech that is either beyond or beside what we do.
I feel like the closest example that Kay might have would be like if she's ever seen Lore's phone. I think she doesn't have it anymore, but
I think Lore's phone, or if you want to go with the not sillier version, the librarian's library.
Oh, snap. So, does this appear to be on or off?
This is all, it appears like it's in like a screensaver mode.
Not that Kay would know what that means. So it's probably reading off something like, not inactive, but, rest.
Dormant, yeah.
Dormant.
Whatever it says is probably not in a language that, say, Simmons would understand, but yeah, Kay.
Unless it was a swear.
Unless it was a swear. He knows all about all swear words.
It's hibernating.
So what is it though?
Is there a specific word that would come to Kay here? Is it just I'm not sure?
You can make a roll and figure out if it's controls. Like, you probably have enough. Yeah. You can make an educated guess at its controls, and I will still give you a roll to figure out if there's more to it.
Some kind of controls. But I have no idea what they are.
Completely beyond you.
Well, if it's hibernating, should we wake it up?
Not entirely sure how you would do that.
Oh, it might be right there, Kay. If you just, if you don't mind, just like looking right at this panel right here, just get a little close. It looks like if you run your hand over it, you might be able to find out, like turn it on. Oh, it's the on button, Kay.
Huh. Well, seems it's right here. I'm gonna push it.
Do it.
Also, I just like the stalactites because they remind me of, shoot, what's that plant? The one that Kay used to have little dinglies off of the side of their head, like. Oh!
Okay, Simmons, something runs across that other screen as it, Kay, it is saying, oh, so it's so adorable. You know when you like boot up a computer and it says good morning to you?
Aww.
And it's just like, good morning. How are you? Just like in text, but like you're able to read it because, you know, bureaumancy.
And I just don't see that, I assume.
Oh, no, absolutely. This is on the other screen. This is where your attention needs to be.
Of course.
Simmons is definitely going to jump up and like smack that thing on the screen. Just hit it like a cat would.
Simmons, what? What? Are you okay?
It was there again.
There again, the red thing?
Yeah, the red thing.
Oh.
Like keep smacking the screen to try to get it to come back.
Well, it's not that I don't believe you because you keep seeing it.
Are there like buttons on this?
Oh, there's buttons all over it. Well, probably not buttons as we would understand them, but like close enough.
Like stuff that looks like it'll move or that like I could manipulate it.
Oh, absolutely. Give it a twist.
I'm definitely gonna push stuff. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm definitely gonna push
something.
Oh,
this is a nightmare for Kay.
All what are you? Wait.
Well, the button
stop.
pressing is happening.
She says, failing to stop him.
All right, Leo and Nichol. Forge, Syria, Isaac, Volpa have just cut away and with all the best spirits. They had the best intentions, but they just dropped this golem towards Kay and Simmons. After, of course, Kay and Simmons fell down a hole in the moon.
Yeah, in a way, I shouldn't be surprised that things wind up a little chaotic. That means we gotta hurry up and get them. An easy way to figure it out is just follow the path of the golem, I guess, for now. Nichol, ready to go?
Yeah, it sounds good to me. I mean, all of us have been through a lot worse than this. I mean, it's honestly kind of a nice change of pace for once.
And as you two jump in, and it is just down. It's just imagine this in front of you, bioluminescent, almost like a spacescape is ahead of you from how dark it is. You just see they look like sparkling stars. The number of creatures that are you guys on your way down start to notice this place is waking up. Slowly, this place could be so much more the word verdant comes to mind, but it feels weird.
Vibrant?
Vibrantly verdant. But you all see, Leo, on your way down, you see the fact that the big roly-poly fellow has bounced into these walls and has dented them quite significantly. And based on just being an engineer, and especially an engineer from Lockstitch, this corridor is hurt by this. It is not going to be able to function the way it needs to from this damage. Can you roll me 2d12 and take the higher and tell me how you know what's wrong? Absolutely.
Okay.
What kind of damage did it do to it? And go ahead and ask any questions about the hallway you want. The 10 gives you answers.
Let's see. So I take it our little golem fellow got himself stuck, got himself broken through denting over here again. I take it.
Oh shit! Absolutely. Let's get him over there.
There's a big old looks like a big old golem shaped dent over there. But there was supposed to be a good bit of wiring that connects between the walls, but with the golem damaging the wall on that section, it's messed with a couple of the cables, to say the least, and whatever other unusual machinery may be present. The cables he understands, but whatever other thing might be there might be a bit strange at first. This is technology that is similar yet very new. But first things first, we gotta get this fella out of here so that the walls can be fixed proper. I swear, this poor fella keeps getting stuck every which way.
Your friends look excited to help.
Yep. Yeah, let me know where you need me to pull and push here.
Leo looks around and seeing that there's more flatter area over here. Well, hopefully, if we can move him over here, he won't accidentally roll to another random location. And with any luck, the little isobulbs can get to their work fixing around here. So let's try to bring him that way. So we might need to put a bit more effort on this thing. It took 4 of them to do it, and it's only the 2 of us. We might need to put some extra work into this.
Well, I do have one way to make it a little bit easier, and then I, create like a thin sheet of ice there to allow for a nice, smooth, and less friction glide to get it to right over here.
Mika keeps saying ice lube. I need you to know that. Yeah, absolutely. You gotta a pool of ice that just like slides it right down.
Yeah, with the ice stopping right before where he needs to go, so our Raleigh Polly buddy doesn't end up slipping and sliding further down again.
I want to name him Henry Rollins.
That's fantastic.
I love it.
Yep, I believe we're all in agreement.
Unless they already have a name, they are Henry Rollins.
His name has always been Henry Rollins.
Beautiful.
Just like, we don't know what, like, currently right now, as you guys are like working him out of the corner, the other team from yesterday's game is getting that side turned on. And like this guy's starting to wake up a little bit more. And he just like looks at you all. He's like, "Hi, I'm Henry."
Hey Henry, you doing okay there?
I think he said "Hi, I'm Henry" in every single language possible in one burst. But you did understand it. And if you understand multiple languages, you understood it in a bunch of languages. He's like, I appear to be stuck.
Yeah, don't worry about that. We're actually trying to fix that for you. You feeling okay?
I feel stuck.
Fair.
And they're like, I feel... You look funny.
Oh boy.
Moonstruck.
That moon cheese really did a number on the folks on the moon, didn't it?
The moon's drunk. He will be an active aid.
Well, it's good to have you aboard, Henry. We're looking for a couple of our friends. They were with you. They were with you earlier, but they kind of got separated.
I think he's like, they fell into these tunnels. Oh, he doesn't sound like a robot, I don't think. He's just like, down here.
Oh.
Hold one moment. And he's just like, can you hand me that cord? And near your feet, Nichol, is a cord like a vine, like that has a texture of like a succulent or a very long like aloe leaf.
All right, then I'm going to actually put my shoe under it and then lift it up to grab it nice and easy and hand it over.
He reaches up and grabs one of his like succulent petal things and lifts it for you to just like put it in there for him. And you do get the vibe, and like if you are uncomfortable doing it, absolutely, but you get the vibe of fueling a tank of gas, not surgery.
I mean, that Nichol's still going to do it there. He's going to be a bit confused at the moment, but, he's going to trust, Henry to say if he's doing it wrong.
And Henry just, like, looks around, gives you the thumbs up, and on one of the... Hold on, I probably got something I can use here. Oh, yeah, I'll use this. Like, next to you, Leo... a succulent starts growing out of this place that has on the leaves a map of these tunnels, like written out in almost like ASCII. And you see a little like area that is like pulsating gently And it's just like, your friends are there.
Oh, very much appreciated. Very, very unusual little place, but okay. So this little flower in that is letting us know, like, hey, that way.
Yep, basically that.
Yeah. By the way, where are we on the flower?
It's you are probably, I think you're about like 4 floors above them.
Oh. We got quite a ways down to go.
Yeah, place bigger than I thought.
Would you like to see the shortest path, or the path that I think is most interesting?
We are also looking for a switch, so perhaps the interesting path might lead us to where this switch is.
Oh, the interesting path is fancy.
What's your opinion on this one, Nichol?
Honestly, I think, interesting is helpful. If we find something interesting, we could let Kay know and have him figure it out. And hey, I mean, she's a professional. I'm sure she can handle whatever is going on down there until we get there. And if not, then I'm sure he'll find a way to let us know real fast.
That is fair. Well, getting more information on this moon would probably be our best bet as we get through. So we'll take the interesting path, and hopefully the information we get there could also help with the other sides of the moon. We'll follow the interesting path if you don't mind.
It's excellent. Now, if you could both just pull, and he stretches his arms out.
Well,
He's still stuck.
Okay.
Yep, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
And then we just cut.
pulls.
Go ahead. Oh, sorry. Go for it. I was going to cut hard cut to Simmons beating up the computer.
Oh, yeah, that's fine with me. Yep, hard cut on 3.
All right, Simmons. This computer is okay. This machine is listing out names of sides. Simmons has distracted you from a couple of them. It appears that these names are important. Roll me a D8 to see how many names you get to read.
Wow. We're doing
Oh
good
my gosh,
tonight
that's
with my
2 in a
rolls.
row.
Oof.
Simmons, you are. What are you, Simmons? You can't
Listen,
you
if
can't
you
just.
push it. It's doing something.
Okay, yeah, of course
him
it's doing
back.
something. The buttons wouldn't be there if they weren't
But-
going to do something.
Yeah, but where did he go? What is that thing? I need.
Okay, but if you give me a second, just give me a second, I could read it and figure out how to pull up what you're looking for. But you're just hitting the buttons.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's back.
It's okay, I got one name.
One second, I lost something. I'm trying to get it.
You lost 7 names. Is what happened. You just deleted them because we don't need to know.
Well, no, they're not deleted. I just didn't get a chance to read them.
No, Alan lost them. He's just
As
like,
you-
I don't need these
They're
anymore.
gone forever.
Yeah.
You look over, and it appears to you that there was a numbered list going by, 1 through 12. And as the last one goes by, it just says Phantasm. It says 12, Phantasm.
With a PH or an F?
With a PH.
Somebody write that down. Write that down. I'm actually gonna put it in chat so I don't forget.
My music stopped, and I did just realize that it stopped being on the shuffle thing, because it's playing Everyone Wants to Rule the World. I was like, does everybody want to rule the moon?
I hope not.
I think I can rule the moon as a treat.
Okay, so now that we have Kay has placed his hands upon Simmons' hands, just like stop. Okay. Deep breaths. I know you had that cheese, but you gotta remember we're in a new place. You can't just touch things.
Do we have any like crackers or anything?
Absolutely. You guys didn't know how long you guys were going to be gone, so yeah, like the same as like yeah, absolutely.
As soon as Kay says, I know you had that cheese. He just is like, do we have any crackers?
Kay snaps in front of his face. Simmons, focus. We're in a new place. Remember that you cannot just touch things without making sure that it is safe to do so.
Okay.
And yes, we have crackers.
What if I hold the crackers and then every time I'm going to touch something, I can just eat the crackers?
We will go through crackers so quickly. You know what? I will, here, you can have this packet of crackers. Kay ruffles through her backpack, hands it over. I'm going to look at this. Okay, you said that it was, the red thing was where?
It was on this one. It was on the side.
On the side of the machine, or on
it was in the
terminal, like the
it was in with the screen, right?
Yeah,
or
it was
did
in
it like actually run on the it was like an ASCII image that ran across the screen?
It was like an ASCII image that ran across the screen.
Okay.
Or yeah.
So it was in the screen, like behind a window.
Behind the okay, so it's in the window. All right. Kay is gonna go back over and see if they can figure out how to use this thing.
Yeah. I think it's well within. I think that one was not telling us that Kay couldn't figure out how to do it. It was that that fiction is in the machine. And Kay didn't see it again, and so Kay couldn't stop that.
Every time I roll a 1 so far, it's been fiction.
But yeah, so like you're able to like get into this machine, and it is running at a 12th of the power that it should be. So like you were basically running in safe mode.
It is chugging.
Oh yes, so slow. So you only have a limited amount of questions to ask. But this is a search bar.
This is like when you're in a library and you're flipping through all the different things so you can find where you need to go to look. Interesting. What are they called? Like, it's not a Rolodex, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Like the Dewey Decimal System?
Yeah.
The catalog.
Yeah, thank you, brain.
It is a Unix system.
Okay.
We know this.
So I guess it said hello or something.
When it started,
was that like a default message or was it a communication?
It was a default message. I think it was saying to select who you were. And then it listed the 12 options. But we can't bring those options back up.
Oh. Okay. So I don't know any of the other... Oh.
You have 1 through 12.
I have 1 through 12, but do I have to have the name for it? Because I only have one name.
Nope, you can select 1 through 12. It's just basically the numbers. And 12 would be the one that you do have a name for, so Phantasm. You don't have to go with that one, but...
We are on side 4. I'm probably talking my way through this out loud so Simmons can hear me. So, like, I see you saying Mash 12 in chat.
I'm trying to not be like an audio annoyance while you're talking through what you're doing, but it is probably smarter to hit 4.
Just mouthful of crackers is like, oh my god, you should press 12. I feel that, and I don't know if it'll have enough power to do it again. The thing is, would Kay comprehend that these line up with like 1 is side 1 and then 12 is opposite of side 1 where the sibling would be? Because that's how it works on Echo? Or is that unlikely?
It's a little esoteric, but I would, if you guys could sell me on how do you guys number the worlds that way?
Yeah, that's kind of what I don't think.
Because if you did number it that way, it would be the truth. But it would be like you guys doing it. It's very much the universe is from DC. Like, we're Universe 1. Why? Because we said so.
Yeah, so it's very much, that might be how Lockstitch tracks the sides, but that's very much just like, oh, we're the most important side, therefore we're 1, so I don't think that's likely. So I'm just gonna go with 4, because she's not gonna realize that 12 equals side with sibling.
Give me 1 second to go back to the other side now. Alright. Leo and Nichol and Henry. He has taken you on a fucking adventure. You see in front of you what appear like nerve endings with incredibly thick electric cable and like electric currents running through them. It's incredibly stable from like a technician's point of view, Leo. Like it's like you could cut a planet in half with that kind of power and that kind of like focus. And Henry's just like, all right, so what we got to do here? And he's just like, we got to bank our way off of there. And then he's just like, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to bounce off that. It's just like, I'm going to go completely in to my bulbous shell. And then I'm going to bounce 3 more times on the other side. No problem. You guys got that one?
You said you were going to bounce off of there, then 3 bounces that way, going into your shell, and you're going to make it through to that spot there without any issues? Was that correct?
He's like, that's my goal. And he's just like stand back. I got this one. I haven't done it in a while. It's just like, oh, when did you guys get up here anyway?
Not that long ago.
He does terrible. You see Henry that's like, cause like this is down, like that is down. You guys are basically clinging to the walls or like walking on the side stuff, very Elden Ring. And Henry jumps out. It goes bad for him, everybody. So, do you save him, and how? He's about to get cut in half.
Oh.
We are not sure if that's fatal or if it's just an inconvenience, but he is jumping into this laser on accident.
Yeah, I don't feel like it making that sort of experiment right now. I'm definitely going to run to help.
Mm-hmm.
I skated.
No, the trajectory is wrong. Wait.
Just like you didn't do the math.
The math isn't mathing.
You use base 20 instead of base 12.
It's like, and he's like, duh, slaps his forehead, and it very much sounds like punching balloons. The dong. Punching balloons are wild. I don't know who came up with that, but I love them.
This guy is such a weird combination of things. I love him.
He's getting just more and more awake. I wonder what he's like at 12. This is him at 2.
He's just starting to power up. Let's see. Leo, to try to help him get to safety, he's going to use the bismuth whip to try to like grab onto one of his arms to try to swing him. He knows for sure he cannot lift this guy. That is impossible. But but maybe swinging him away from those wires might help get him to where he needs to go.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I think I'll try to assist with that by activating the Devil's Wings to use as a glider, and then probably add a bit of a bit of snow and wind behind him to help with that, and basically glide over to try to help guide the path to a safer spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Oops, sorry. Go ahead and move. Yeah, you move you guys where you should be. I think you guys can move all the tokens.
Yeah, I didn't realize I could move this guy.
I'm trying to give you guys access to controlling all the tokens going forward, just because, like, I want to see what you guys want to do with them instead of waiting for me to do something with them. You know, I just think it's cool if we all have more agency.
Fair enough. I wasn't expecting to be able to move Henry, but all right, okay. Now I know that.
The card enabled it. The card lets you move Henry in real life and token form.
So as Leo got the whip ready, he would jump down, and he would basically twirl his way down using the whip as one of those, like, you know, those ribbons that they do in those like Olympic gymnastics.
Absolutely,
thing, you know.
Yeah.
Because he knows that the whip's power really gets into its own if you are dancing with it. So he is using that. He's using that as a bit of a dance step as he twirls down to try to latch onto him and move him towards Nichol, who is trying to glide him to safety.
Absolutely. Nichol, like, we're basically flying through like a Mission Impossible laser grid right now. Well, you are Fast and the Furious. What is it, 5? Is that the one that we're dragging that safe? Which one did they have the safe?
I do not remember.
I will look this up. One day I will watch all the Fast and the Furiouses. But how do you maneuver around this? How are we able to, like... Yeah, because, like, right now Leo is strong. Leo's heckin' strong. I think holding... Leo, is it the thing where you have the whip caught around it, and as it catches, like, your arms like rip through your uniform? I'm thinking... Go ahead.
Sleeves ripped again, darn it.
I think Leo under that is, like, not jacked like how we think of Royce, because, like, when I think of Royce doing Rip Like Jesus, I'm always thinking, like, a big dude, a John Cena, a Triple H. But for Leo, I'm thinking more like a Bruce Lee scenario.
like not exaggerated muscles, because that I don't think that's gonna happen with the bunny, but you know.
Is it your short pants? Is it your thighs just get fucking just jacked? Just like, it's like, oh no, I split my pants.
God darn it.
All right. So, Leo, I'm gonna need 2d12 and Nichol 2d12 as well.
Nine on my end.
All right, yep, that's a success for Leo. And an 11 for. All right. So this goes pretty well, you guys. Like, Henry takes no damage. You all like fly through. What do you want to learn about this place? I will give you guys a piece of information. Tell me how you flew and how you maneuvered all the way down to the floor that he thinks is interesting. To the fancy floor.
I think in terms of maneuverability, after Nichol activates the glider wings and starts to get the movement, he's realizing that he doesn't necessarily have he needs some extra lift and some extra maneuverability given how the gravity and other stuff is weirder here. So I think what he does is that he activates or he starts building up a bit of a snowstorm, not for the cold, but more for the wind, in order to basically push him, let him go further, faster, better, and even lifting up a little bit as needed to basically change it from a regular glider into just practically rocketing at a couple of points.
Harder, better, faster, stronger.
It's like, I love it. Leo, what is strong? Like, how does Leo show that? Like, if not, and like, I'm perfectly fine for any of you guys' characters when like a Rip Like Jesus comes out. You don't like have to prove just how like big you are, but you can prove how like smart you are with the handling of your own body. Like, I am very good at this. How does Leo show us what he is physically capable of? Or not even physically capable if you don't want it to be physical. How do you show us what you're capable of?
So Nichol is using the snowstorm to add extra wind to move where he needs to be. Is that correct?
Yep, and burning a solid 3 AP in the process. So
just a little AP burning as a treat. Let's see. If that's where he needs to move, then Leo will then, as with the swing of the whip as he is spinning, using the momentum as he's swinging Henry towards where Nichol is going, because they see where they need to land now, as seeing Nichol glide to that spot. So he will swing him to that direction, and to provide a little extra like movement to get there, he'll let out like it's under his word a bit, like to propel himself. So he just lets out a sudden shout to launch himself and Henry towards Nichol. Would get a little extra distance towards them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me knock down a little bit of AP on that. Where's on this word? And boom. Okay.
What kind of information would you... Oh, you guys, I don't think I've given you enough to know what questions to ask, so I will just share some things with you. Nichol, this feels very much like... I want to say like a gyroscope, like a stabilizer that you might find on a ship. Like, this whole room feels like it is gearing up and spinning to get something bigger moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, didn't we learn earlier that the whole point was to try to get the whole moon itself spinning again?
I don't know what's going on outside, but I'm assuming domestic violence.
Uh-oh.
I hope everybody is okay. Alright. So, yeah, you did learn that 100%. Like, we are trying to get this going. And you have the word priming comes to mind. Like, I keep thinking about, have you ever used those like weird hand things that start spinning, and the more you spin, the more they get going with inertia? Like, there's also the ones that are like a disc that rides on these like little tracks. It has two like spikes on the side that spin really fast, and you can get it going in a really good thing. That feels like what is happening in this room that you guys are passing through.
Ooh.
The something about this room, there's a technology here at play that is giving this energy that basically is close enough to magic for you guys. It's giving it weight. And I guess mass.
It definitely feels like something's warming up here, Leo.
Really? We couldn't tell from all the cold that we were feeling from the snowstorm. We thought our tails were going to fall off.
I was trying to be metaphorical here for once. Come on.
As Leo is laughing, Nichol will start to notice that there's two voices coming out of Leo.
Yep, and actually, by the same token, Leo will probably notice that Nichol's breath is, even with the temperature, it's like constantly like, that cold vapor coming from it.
Ew, silly.
This is when I think the two parties like connect up with each other. Still in here.
I thought they were going
copied
a
the-
longer way to see a cool room.
We took the interesting route, and that room looked pretty cool if you ask me.
Which was?
Oh wait, no. Sorry, you were absolutely right there. Nichol and Leo, as you walk into the interesting room, you see a figure sitting on what looks like a throne.
Mhm.
And Henry points at her and just says, "Fancy."
Oh.
I like
Like-
them.
Like, do you say they're fancy, or is their name fancy?
And like he like looks and just like, "This one's name is Fancy."
Ah.
Seems pretty appropriate.
Mm-hmm. So we know a Luna, we know a Fancy. Okay.
It's just like, "Yes, you do know Luna," Henry says, as like he motions to himself. There's a way that he says it that implies when you say he says Luna, it means everything.
Mm-hmm. The entire moon is Luna. Luna is the whole moon, and we are getting the moon. Well, we're getting Luna back to their old self. Yeah. Okay. Well then, I feel like we should introduce ourselves to Fancy. Provided they're awake.
Fancy is immobile right now.
Oh.
Captive audience, you get to introduce yourself anyway.
Probably because the site's still not active. The switch. Wait. Would this be potentially near where we need to be to learn more about the switch?
Maybe. No, actually, I'm wondering if we have one on every side. could have a whole family down here.
It wouldn't surprise me. Well, okay, it would surprise me a little, but we keep.
Are you asking about the Sentinels? Henry says.
So there's more?
Of course.
Ooh.
This is Fancy,
So
the fourth Sentinel. And like he like goes up in his brain, kind of like it's just like it appears that we have 2 active Sentinels.
So that means our teammates got the job done. That's good. The Sentinel that we woke up to the east of here, is that the one that is awake now? Just to make sure.
Mirage is awake, yes.
Mirage. Fantastic. Okay. So we have Luna, we have Mirage, and we have Fancy who's not awake yet, but we're gonna fix that in a moment. Is there anything that might be able to give like a little hint on what might steer these 2 in the right direction?
Sorry. Then absolutely. So in this room there are cords and they are definitely plugged into something that they are not getting the information that they need. I'm not 100% sure how you guys can tell that, but you guys tell me how you would learn that. Also, it's just like Never mind, we're good. So yeah, you guys study in here, roll me a couple things and we'll figure out how. Like, what does Leo and Nichol in this room trying to reverse engineer how to turn power her up? Saying turn her on sounded bad.
Well, let's see. In the bunny's case, I believe what they're going to do is channeling a bit of energy to the resonance spear. He doesn't think spirits are a thing around here. At least it doesn't seem that way so far. I could be wrong, but he's gonna basically use this and channel a bit of energy, electricity, and use it as, have you ever seen those those tools that electricians use to test what's the amps and what's live, what isn't, those kind of tools to make sure what cables are active, which ones aren't, what powers what?
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's using his spear, and he's using his spears as those little cables to test.
Yeah, at least for Nichol's part, he's probably going to start with something simpler and take a look at all the various wires and see if any of them look loose, and then if it's one where Leo indicates it may be hot, then that may be so much better to focus on those to see which ones are actually in there properly or which ones may have been jarred a bit. Because with what happened to that hallway above, may have caused a bit of a cascade effect with a bunch of the wires.
You're giving me flashbacks to work. Have you tried checking the cables to make sure that they are fully plugged in?
It is an important step, let me tell you.
If you wiggle them and the screen flickers, then we might have a connection issue.
Absolutely. I think it is definitely both of you roll me 2d12. You can go one at a time if you want to. I feel like you all have basically two different ways of testing things. So
Understood.
if we succeed at one, we don't have, the failure of the other doesn't actually hurt us.
Wow.
Oof.
Oof. Womp womp. Bad on my end.
I think I'm
what
going
about
to give
you?
it one more try on my end.
All right.
Oh, it's definitely a tough choice on your end.
Okay. Wild. How does this?
How did this mess up for the bunny?
Oh my god, is fiction in the wires?
I think what happens is, the whole place starts like powering up a little bit. Yeah, the wires were loose, Nichol. So here's your tough choice. It's just like one of them will fit in two holes. Like there's two slots that this one thing will go in. No, I don't like that. That's gross.
That sounds like more of a Simmons situation anyway.
Yeah, that's more of a Simmons scenario. Trying to think of how, because like you guys, I think it's just more broken than we thought. I think that we see that the shaking up there did a lot of damage down here. I think it's just like oof. And Leo, that is like why it's a 1 for you. It's just like this is a lot of work. You know how to do it, or like, but that you don't know how to do. Like you're gonna have to learn it as we go.
Ooh, this is. Oh, this is bad. Ah, jeez.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot here. I mean, don't know what all of it means, but I mean, even I know it doesn't look good.
Henry's crouching down, very much like a group of dads looking at an engine. And he's just like, yeah, see, that's your problem. It's a Ford. And then now we have to figure out what Moon Ford stands for. But no,
It's like a fjord instead of a Ford.
right? It's just like, just like, we should check the consoles.
Yeah, and I think we're going to need some more hands on this too.
Oh, for sure.
Don't you
Might need a
put
specialist.
that juju on us, Quarry.
Let's go get them. It sounds like they're fine considering. Well, like you said, we don't hear anything. We don't, and Kay's pretty good at panicking, so it would have told us if there was something wrong.
Deal.
Anyhow,
They're fine or awful.
Honestly, I'd expect there if it was something bad that we'd hear, Simmons broadcasting his location all over the caves.
oh, that's a good point too. It could really go either way. Well, let's try to find them before we get to either of those points. Maybe they can help us with this one. And maybe they got a good idea on where the councils are. We haven't seen that yet.
All right, Simmons and Kay, how goes the... What are you two up to?
Well, I pressed 4.
And as you press the 4, it just says, like, comes back up, status, name, fancy, like, location, and then it comes up on the map, and you see this side from above, basically the same as your maps. And it's just like, status, dormant.
Interesting.
And then I think it like slowly, I think the way that I think the screen comes up is not text so much as, I mean, it is text, but like think e-ink or think like those watches that people can tell time with Braille. Like it's lichen growing into the positions of letters that you can read.
Interesting.
That's cool as hell.
Gosh, these stupid bots.
These stupid what?
Bots
We
are coming
keep
in
getting
there.
bots.
Oh
saying
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Getting a lot of them lately.
No, Kay just says stupid bots. So does
Anyways, just that's racist.
buddy? That's not what I meant.
That's what they all say.
Come on, one of our best friends is Streamloot's bot.
I mean, that's true.
It's true. Okay, so you said this is like a search bar.
Yep.
We see the location. Can I get it to run logs? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, like just the history of what's, like, whatever its last thing was, whatever the more recent stuff has been, you know, that kind of thing.
It starts printing out at Simmons' knees.
Simmons just jumps up and is like, "What the hell is this?"
It is just going and going and going. And Kay, you can read this and you can understand this. This is very in-depth descriptions of a fluctuation of magic. It's very mathematical, but it is like plus X number minus X number plus X minus X, and it goes it has almost a latitude and longitude, that the latitude is, don't quote me on this one, it's like a latitude and longitude. It's not actually a latitude and longitude because we play in a weird game in fantasy, so we'll have to come up with names for them. But one is on a 1 to 20 and one is on a 1 to 12.
1 to 20 and a 1 to 12. Interesting. So
It's like a chart of what size and what numbers. Like, so you'll get a 12 and a 20 every once in a while, and sometimes you'll get a 1 and a 1, but those are rare.
So, and you said this is energy fluctuations potentially?
It appears like energy fluctuations, pluses or minuses, and like I'm just like,
So the
it is
way
in a
the
language that
player,
doesn't exist. Yeah,
the
go
way
ahead.
the player is comprehending this, it's like this is the side that the energy is coming from, and it went to this side, like from Echo to the moon on this side kind of situation. Is that?
It's just the whole moon, like this.
Like, let's say
This
came
is the
from
side.
side 4 and then it went to side 9 on the moon. But is that
Side 4 chooses how it rotates. Like, this is the mechanism to start it rotating. That is what Nichol saw. Like, we got to get it going.
Interesting. So, this is like lining up the way the moon is facing in relation to the Echo? Or am I...
Yeah, you can, like, you start it, you roll the die.
Huh.
That's fun.
Interesting mechanism. Okay, so is this is logs? Is this like acting as if it is controlling it, or is this like a monitoring station? Yeah, is there a way for me to check that?
Yeah, you can definitely check that. Also, it suddenly cuts off and then starts up again. Like it stops printing and now it starts printing again, and that is Side inactive. Side inactive. Side inactive.
I'm just gonna hit escape.
It stops printing side inactive.
Yeah. Anywhere in this, does it have anything that might indicate, I don't know, a strange red energy fluctuation?
What would you search for? Like, give me your keywords.
It's less so keywords and more just irregularities in the code kind of situation. Like, from reading all of this, it may be different, like, different numbers going to different numbers, plus, minus, but it's like, it's got a rhythm to it. And if that rhythm is disrupted, something different has occurred that would be abnormal.
You like pattern
Roll me?
searching?
Yeah,
Roll me
basically pattern.
2, but take the lower.
Great.
I only because, like, yeah, I think K is the only one that could get this far, but I don't think K's a plant hacker.
That's fair.
Like, not yet, but like that's next arc where you wear all of like the leather. So,
Holy
Oh,
yeah.
shit, I
well,
guess
K
K
might
is a
be a
plant
plant hacker.
So in there somewhere there is an irregularity. Is there somebody else that logged on, basically, before you got here? But that one that logged on had a name, like.
What's their what are they called? It's not a call sign, but
handle.
thank you.
It's just like designated Sentinel operational Sentinel operational side and not applicable designation fervor.
Fervor. So, did it create a sentinel? Did it spoof a sentinel for a side that doesn't exist?
Wait, Kay, are you implying that the moon got fished?
Well, Midnight did want to go fishing.
And clearly it's the inside. Side 13.
Side 13. Yeah, absolutely.
Side 13 is the
13th
inside. Yeah, it's fine.
So someone spoofed a sentinel for a side. Oh lord, potentially. That would be something like what Kay would have gotten from that. They
Simmons
wouldn't
is
know...
just folding all of those papers that printed out that you're not reading.
No,
Oh,
I might need
Simmons,
those.
Simmons, I need you to know that imagine, you know, fruit leather, right?
Yeah.
This paper that printed out has that kind of a smell and a texture, just so you know. And also, just so you know, and like I'm not trying to get you to do anything, but all of the letters are printed out on a different textured, differently delicious thing. Just so you know.
I need you to know that Kay has experience with Seth eating paperwork, so they're gonna hear the sound of a crunch and immediately be like, "Stop that!"
It's like fruit leather, though. But no, I'm not telling you have to eat it. But it's like, it is not paper, is all I'm really trying to say.
He is drunk.
So it's gross folding, is what you're saying.
Oh, it's terrible folding. Think about trying to fold
Really thick folding.
thin roof tiles.
So I gotta like sit on it every time, just mash it down.
Oh yeah,
Like stomping on the pile, because
but then
I
like it
mean-
might crack at the edges.
Please don't. What are you?
I'm trying to make it neat.
Okay, hold on 1 second. and Kay is going to attempt to assist. They are used to folding weird materials because, origami.
It's a good point.
I don't know how well that'll go.
Is Kay teaching Simmons an origami folding method? It's a bonding moment.
Kay teaches classes. Why haven't you come?
I didn't know you had classes.
It's right on the bulletin board outside of the break room.
I don't.
This is
read
where
those.
Simmons comes clean. He's just like, "Aw, shucks, Doc and Professor K, I can't read." It's just a cut. We don't like that one. We're going back on that one. That's a bad one.
So we've managed to fold this up. Okay. How much power does this machine appear to have left now that it has done all of this printing?
Incredibly little. Maybe one hyper-specific question.
Okay. Is it from the way I've read this, how would I input something along the lines of when was the last time that Luna's sibling was active?
Two things you would get for the answer for that one. One, it is not Luna's sibling. You do not see a designation of any of the Sentinels being named Luna.
That's not... Luna was speaking... We were speaking to someone speaking for Luna, potentially.
That seems very likely. You were speaking to Figment.
Figment.
Figment's sibling has not been awake for thousands of years.
Did it give... It doesn't have the processing power to give me an exact number, I assume?
It does not. And then it's just like,
years.
Goodbye, and a little, like, possibly what looks like a cat, but with definitely, like, an antenna coming right out of the middle of its head, just gives you a little, like, non-paw wave as it logs off.
Does it do, like, a...
Oh, definitely.
Kind of what Kay was searching for there was whether or not the sibling had shut down before everything else, or if it had shut down around the same time. But if it can't get that specific, that's fine.
Everything shut down.
Everything shut down around the same time,
Okay.
for sure. If not, like, at the exact same second, close enough.
Okay.
Cascading failure. Are the screens dark now?
Yeah, the screens are dark.
Hey, why did you break it?
Oh, no, it only had so much power left because we are still working off of a limited amount currently.
So we have to... So we have to give it more power so we can figure out more stuff.
Right, which is part of the plan. What you saw with the red thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was right here, and I like smacked the screen again.
Yeah, there was like signs of it in there, and they, as they're helping fold him, just kind of point out the sections and, try to explain it to him. But I don't know how well Kay is going to, how good Kay is going to be at explaining this in a world where computers don't exist in the same way. So I don't know how well Simmons is going to understand Kay's explanation.
What the hell is the stupid quote?
You could roll, I guess, if that's what we want to do there. Just like, how good are you at understanding coding?
All right. Yeah, I'll do that. I'd do that.
Yeah, go for it.
Really good.
Of course. sequence's pattern.
Simmons manages to turn the computer back on. He's just like, no. It's like, I know this one. You just see him like pressing a crystal into something and it just goes crack. It's like, all right, works every time.
Oh my god.
No, like, that is not canon. It's like,
Yeah, I know.
Simmons just gets your explanation incredibly well.
So yeah, that's
We're gonna take this with us, right?
of course we.
Okay.
Yeah, that's part of why we have extra space in our backpacks.
Definitely take the printouts. Not for now. I know now that it's not for eating because I've seen this. I've seen the pattern. Okay, it's shown me like the Matrix code sequence, so I know it's important.
Unroll this like a scroll and see the story of it happen. And he just has to run along the side of it.
Just run really fast. Okay, wait. I gotta
Like a
start
flip
over
book.
it.
Hold on, I got this.
Okay, so I think we should probably try and find the others now. I guess try and find our way out, really.
Yeah, we really
I saw a map, so we are like here. Hold on, and can I like just do a quick? Yeah, I'm gonna have to do like a sketch probably.
I don't even think you need to do the sketch. Hold on one second. Am I in the right one?
Do I understand it like Isaac understood it?
I just think the second you guys want a map, it just like Leo's map just kind of sprouts at your feet.
Oh, huh.
What? Hi. What
Well,
are you?
Us. So, hold on. This, if you look at the pattern right here, this is indicating... Ah, this one's Leo. This is Nichol. I'm not sure what that is. Wait,
it just says, I'm Henry.
Oh, it's Henry.
Who's that?
Oh, Henry! The, our golem friend.
It's like, this isn't me actually talking to you. You're just seeing my name as a thing that says I'm Henry.
Is he just saying it in the other room to them out loud, or is?
Right.
I think that's basically his name tag.
Okay. It's like that. I only speak enough English to tell you that this is what I say.
Yes.
Oh no, Simmons, he can't hear you.
But
I'm just trying to yell hello into the flower.
I did, yeah. So how do? So we got to go find him. Let's.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So where? Where are we again? This
right here is they're in the same room as. Shoot, I forgot their name already. The Fancy. They're in the same room as Fancy. They already. Okay, well, let's go.
We'll try to pick up the map to bring it with us, and I'm assuming it just like goes back into the ground.
Oh yeah, it'll just sink right back into the ground.
Sadly,
one of those terrified little like things that go back into like the vents and stuff. Not vents, but yeah, like volcanic vents.
I sadly walk away.
It's just a walk away. That's a tragedy for Simmons. All right, I think we can have us all like meet back up at this point.
Yeah.
How go the repairs, Leo?
It's very slow going, unfortunately, with how bad this thing is. He's trying to learn it bit by bit. So it's quite a bit of work. Like he is like you can see he is like they're fully focused, like tongue slightly sticking out as they're trying to like get this to work. No. That shoot. And their ears twitch upon hearing 2 more sets of footsteps. Looking over. Oh! Hi! Seems you found us trying to fix Fancy's chair up here. Glad to see you're all right. And we found the golem that was chasing you. His name is Henry.
Yeah, I hit him.
Henry.
Henry raises his hand. I'm Henry.
Simmons runs over and tries one more time to give him a fist bump.
Oh, he 100% takes the fist bump this time. He's like, yeah.
All right, good deal.
Like, then we lock it. Then we lock it.
We messed that up the last time, so I'm glad we got to.
His fist bump is still like happening. It's just like, then we lock it.
You gotta lock the fist bump.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay. Then we chain on it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're out. That's when like he vibrates his hand at such a speed it makes you feel like your hand went numb.
Are they married now?
Wait, that's not. No, what? I don't know your cultures. What did I just do?
Just give him a handshake.
That was the player just being silly. Sorry.
It's just a customary handshake by the looks of it. We've seen a few, but this is a new one to us.
You gotta put the chain on it or it doesn't count.
Yeah. You got a fist bump, lock it, chain it, then go out. Then you add the sound effects.
Then you go. Then you try to vibrate as much as you can. The first person who gives up loses.
Ah, okay, all right.
So you beat me this time.
This round. And like, he's just like, are these the specialists? Do they know how to fix it? Fancy's very interesting.
They were coming with us to fix this section of this side of the moon. Okay, Simmons. Could you come to us real quick? We need your assistance on something.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Thank you. If you look over here, a couple of these wires are a little out of place and a little bit fried, like really fried. We need to figure out a good replacement, or at least some sort of way to connect them with the traditional Lockstitch unconventional means, if we have.
You said some of them are damaged. I'm noticing that your friends haven't followed you.
No, the isobulbs, they needed to fix up another wall that got a little bit damaged when Henry landed. But they're doing good work there. I'm sure once they're done, they might make their way back here if they got the time. But it's been a bit busy fixing up all the holes and stuff.
Henry just has his hand in the back of his head doing the thing. Like,
it's all right, Henry. It happens to the best of us.
So I guess we can't expect help from them now.
Sorry, what were you about to say, Nichol?
No, I was about to, try to comfort Henry and say, hey, no worries, it wasn't your fault. Well, it was your body that caused it. It wasn't your fault.
He is definitely sobering up as the game goes on, and the more awake he is as well. I think mostly it's the problem was the fact that the first thing she ate upon waking up was booze.
Yeah, I'm sure that had nothing to do with it. That seems fake.
Now, okay. I know the little isobulbs are great helpers, but we shouldn't rely on them. They have their own work to do.
Well, of course, but this is part of their environment, so it wouldn't be odd for them to fix it. It's just I know that they have a lot to do elsewhere.
Part of their environment. You said the hoses look like sort of
plant-like
flexible plant thing. Yeah, kind of like the paper, quote unquote, that we just printed a whole bunch of.
Yeah, sure.
You know how like the old dot matrix printers have those things on the side, those little strips of paper you could tear off?
Oh, that's amazing.
Is there like a border on that we could
tear off,
slice off, and use as like a cord to try it?
Well, even more so than that, I mean, Kay could potentially like fold it as a potential cord, but also we could try and like paper mache it, like use it to like try and mold closed the damaged parts.
Well, provided, considering all of this is technically that's an interesting idea. Let me step out of the way. Let me move to the side. You guys wanted to work on that. Yes, I'll let you do. We'll let you do that. Leo was actually very interested in seeing this work. If they're all really part of the same environment, and would it take to this, quote unquote paper just as easily as any other wire or connection?
Yeah. Let us know if you need any backup with that. All right.
I am a little curious as we're like about to work on this. Kay is gonna kind of want to look at how the connections work themselves because they haven't gotten a chance to see it. If I can.
It is something akin to plants and auxiliary cables, but the cables themselves are not metal. Have you ever gotten like a really good hoodie where its tag is the plastic or like the silicone over the end of it? Yeah, that is how the plugins go. And they have a little like seal around them from that.
Is there like information moving through it, or is it
not when it's unplugged?
You said some of them were live.
Live, and then if the only information you see is like the way that you see danger, like if you touch that, you are going to get shocked.
Okay, so that's power cords, not information.
So we just have to plug them in to get fancy online. This is it was perfect.
Well, I think that IRL, we have a situation where we have a power cable, but we also need to connect the Ethernet cable.
This
so we
will
need
go
to make
part.
sure we put it in the right spot.
So we need to connect the power ones to where the power ones need to go, and the information ones to where the information ones need to go. So
yeah, I'm not like that. That's not going to be a fun like gotcha moment or anything.
So just double checking behind Leo, or I guess potentially the twins, and Nichol's work to make sure that everything looks correct.
I very much enjoy that they all went away.
So can I double check that it's correct?
Yeah, he did fine.
Perfect. Okay, everything looks right. All right, let's try repairing.
So yeah, you two take the edges of the paper and reconstitute it in such a way to make more wires. And like everybody's like watching, and it's just taking a little while. Of course it would. Like there's a montage of you guys like making the right wires, testing them out against each other. Henry's just like leaning over. He's just like, "Are we looking for spare parts?"
You had spare parts this whole time?
Well, you didn't ask. I only thought like this might be a good time to offer.
What sort of parts?
He motions to Fancy.
But you want us to cannibalize? No. But then
I would, but then he holds his hands out and they're just giant mitts, like very much like plate mail mitts, not plate mail gauntlets. And he's like,
what would happen if we were to do so? Would it reconstruct afterwards?
Oh, he's not telling you to cannibalize Fancy. He knows where other parts for Fancy is. Well, he knows where other parts for Fancy are.
Yeah, I was just like, what is happening?
You know what? That's fair. That's on us. We should have asked.
Okay, so we've gotten all these cables. Like, It's in the theory that we've gotten these cables like fixed as best we can. Fancy still isn't powering on.
Oh, that's still going to take a little while. He's offering to take you guys while we wait.
Okay, gotcha. I see.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Let me.
Oh, Leo hops
move
down
you
from the
two
flower.
here.
Hippity hoppity.
So the first thing is just like, it's just this way. It's like, we won't be long. And he waves to Simmons and Kay.
Today's game has been split the party the game.
Ooh.
Oh, it's pretty.
Ooh.
Wow. Now this is interesting.
This is one of the storage locations that we have. I think Henry actually talked in all languages at once, or like enough languages at once. It's just like it's very. It sounds mostly natural, but it might sound weird for you too, like for actual like the characters themselves.
The people that know multiple languages probably have a bit of a lag process moment.
Right? Like there's this brief, like there's always like a brief moment where Leo seems really confused before they figure out, oh that's what they had said.
Henry looks down and sees a cord and like points it out to you two, and you both see it as like charred. Like it is discolored from the rest of the place around here. And like he leans down and touches it.
Any idea what happened to that one?
He's just like begin studying it. I'll make a roll for him. Let's see. Yes, it threw it twice for me.
It's a violent 11.
Angriest 11 you've ever seen.
And he just says, it's just like this. Oh, and why doesn't that have a clear background? He states it's just like, these cords don't run this direction. Like this is when you're decommissioned, you send all your information out. Information doesn't go in.
So somebody set these cables wrong, or is something trying to take in information when it shouldn't?
Give me a roll. Give me 2d12.
It was bouncing on a 10, but it's a 1.
I think it is worst case scenario 1. This is not Leo not knowing what it is. This is
like, oh, this is bad. It's a different kind of bad.
It's like somebody forced a bowling ball through a straw, like a bowling ball amount of energy through a straw.
I hope they choked on it.
Leo, could you maybe, give a bit more clarification on the whole "this is really bad" thing?
Sorry. We got a bit ahead of ourselves. Okay, what's a good way to put this? Have you tried shoving a bowling ball into a straw?
No, that sounds incredibly dangerous, but I think I may get the idea now.
Yeah, that's what happened, but with energy and information, and it blew these wires all the heck. Problem is, now we need to figure out if it was taking information in. What was taking in that information? We're kind of gonna need to check on that.
Yeah, especially if they try again, because if it burnt that out. Who knows whether they actually got everything, or it all spilled out because of the whole bowling ballness spilled everywhere. I think that metaphor works.
For safety's sake. Okay, Simmons. Mind coming over here for a second? We got a situation on our hands.
Yeah, for sure. You guys could all
just
stick
run out
together.
and be like, "What's up?"
Yeah, we're just going to very carefully step away. We'll finish this later. I sure hope we don't need to be in a rush doing it later. For any reason.
I mean, if you want to bring that up out into the ether, that's on you.
Yeah, Henry will like show it to everybody, and I think between all of you, you can discern that it was information going the wrong direction. So instead of being pulled out of whatever's in this room, it was being pushed into, and then it wasn't like a trickle. It was so much that the entire vine/cable thing is worthless from this point out. It is burnt out.
This is... I didn't have a chance to tell you about what we had discovered while we were away. And Kay is going to kind of explain that there's some sort of a being entity that basically faked being a sentinel for a side that doesn't exist potentially, and that Simmons had
That's
seen...
impossible. You can't fake being a sentinel.
Kay is going to pull out the paperwork and start showing it to him and point at the parts where all the irregularities are and explain how they reach that conclusion.
Henry holds it up like a scroll, and he's just like, I can't read.
Seriously?
Just feed it through the. Do you have does he have an input?
Oh yeah,
thing?
just put it through.
Just
Push it through the slot. Push it through the slot.
Well,
just shove it in there.
Hold on. I've passed information just by touch before.
Oh, that's probably better.
I don't want to just if we were to give you this information, would it be destroyed? Or because we don't have a copy of it.
He's just looks, he's just you don't look like a pollinator.
That's true.
I don't trust non-sanctioned transfers. That's what got us into trouble. It's just there's a class on that in school. I'm not saying I don't know where you've been, but you're from another world. I don't know if it'll work out between us.
I'm trying to figure out how to make a I'm ace joke, but I don't know how to fit it in without anyway. So
it's just you tell me what did you find? You can just tell him what you found.
Okay. Well, I mean, she was explaining it while pointing it out, so if just further detail at this point.
I need a couple specific details, and I can't tell you which ones I need, but just give me a couple details.
Oh gracious. Okay. So sorry, my brain has decided to skitter away on me. Speaking of skittering, hello to the pupper who is at my feet. So brain disconnect.
could I maybe out of character help out a bit?
Thank you.
Probably one of the things there is that the Sentinel from side NA, Fervor.
It's like
Yeah,
it lights
thank
up.
you.
It's just like fervor. Fervor is a sentinel.
From which side?
Like runs through. No longer applicable.
No,
At what point were they no longer applicable? The side only the. Where would this other side have been?
It's just like, it lists a date. That was the day that all of the power went off. Or near enough.
Henry, how many Sentinels are there?
At current, there appear to be. We have three active Sentinels. It's like.
But like in total.
There are three. No, sorry. Yes, 3 active Sentinels, and we currently have 10 inactive.
How are there 13 Sentinels for 12 sides?
Also, this access was more. Am I remembering right that the irregularity in the pattern was more recent than?
Oh yeah, much more recent.
Yeah, this irregularity happened far more recently. It was right before I accessed it. Is that correct?
Yeah, right after Simmons went ham on the computer.
So this happened right before I accessed the computer, and you're saying that they went inactive on this date. So that the math is not mathing.
Forever went inactive on this date. They resumed activity and then they say where you are right now in the timeline, about an hour ago.
Where are they supposed to be stationed?
They are not active.
Oh, this is a bug in the code. You just said that they were active, but they are not active.
Oh, it is active. It is not applicable. Sorry, not applicable.
Not
it is
applicable.
NA.
So Wandering Sentinel. Henry, is there do you know of a protocol for like a backup Sentinel in case one gets damaged or?
Oh, absolutely. And then he finished getting you to the room that he was heading towards. And inside you see many, many bodies of basically shells of the Sentinels that you've seen. They have varying degrees of succulence left on them. Some of them look really, really old. They are anywhere from around 5 feet to around 11 feet tall. Some of them are missing arms. Some of them are don't have heads on. It's almost like when you think about what if Pick Apart was for robots, but those robots were all made by Apple.
Huh. But then why would anything in here be taking information?
There is definitely a spot where one was sitting and is now not.
And you said that this was for decommissioned?
The decommissioned Sentinels. I don't remember much about them, but I always found them interesting.
Would you find it interesting that one appears to be missing?
It's just he looks up. None are missing.
Who was sitting there?
That was decommissioned Fervor. They have been recommissioned.
Who recommissioned them? Or what?
Like, Fervor.
So Fervor, the decommissioned, recommissioned themselves.
It appears so.
Is that common?
It's like, I think you get the biggest shrug.
It's one of those, like, they're supposed to be decommissioned and therefore without power, and yet somehow they've commissioned themselves again.
Maybe they didn't recommission themselves. Maybe I hit the wrong button? Or was it before we were there at all? Like, how? What?
It was before we were there.
So maybe it's just when we landed, when we showed up. Maybe that set off some sort of welcoming party.
That we have. I mean, that's all well and good, but just to be cautious, I am concerned that we might have a rogue sentinel.
The Sentinels are welcome to do what they want. Everything they choose is for the best.
Oh, God.
That sounds depressingly familiar.
I don't suppose there's any... I guess we could ask Henry, which way the Sentinel went.
Does he show up on the map?
He does not show up on the map. I can tell you right now, he is not on this side anymore.
Dang it.
Or he is on his way off this side.
So we're not going to be able
Is that what the numbers track on the papers? Which side he went to?
I believe that it mostly tracks the rotation.
Rotation. Is it tracking the rotation of the moon or tracking the movement of a thing around the moon? Is there something like Sentinel? Henry, is there anything like a Sentinel that's on Echo itself?
I was like, no Sentinel had ever gone on to Echo until I'm previous of. Then he gives the date that is when the moon stopped. And it's like, yes, it appears Fervor has been to Echo.
Fair.
I'm really not liking where a lot of these pieces are fitting together.
Yeah, I am. Unfortunately, Henry would have indicated that. Because you already said that they're gone beyond our reach, would Henry be able to indicate that to us so that we can...
I mean, yeah, it's like you guys could pull up the flower succulent thing and see that he is like nowhere within, like on this map, so you don't know where you would start.
Okay, so we're going to have to go back to the drawing board, call in help on that one when we have signal again.
Yeah, although, maybe we could get some help from Fancy, too.
That is also true.
That explains why some of the wires were out. They might have gotten fried not only from the jolting of, and then he like motions to, like, our fall. I mean, mostly you. And he points at Leo. It's like, you did a lot of damage when you hit those walls.
Leo quirks a brow at that. Sir, you could throw me at you could throw me at any of my teammates, and I'd hurt myself more likely than I'd hurt them.
I wasn't aware that the moon's beings were the sort to shirk their responsibility of what they have done.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, Leo, I mean, if depending on what weapon you have, I'm sure you could do a lot of damage if you wanted to.
Oi.
But I doubt that he wanted to. So
We're getting off track.
yes,
What?
you guys came here for parts.
Yes, that's what we were originally looking for before we saw the charred wire and all that mess. But yes, we were getting spare parts to assist with the repairs.
And yeah, you see them like growing out of some of these machines. Like, machine is it's what they are, but they are also people, or were people. Their joints are open and growing like little gardens. Very useful tools that you could use to connect, like connectors out of them. You can get some free, not free cables, but like cables to use. You do realize this is a limited resource, so let's not take it back to use on the ship, but you guys can look at them while you are here to figure out how the tech works. Like if you were interested, but you guys would definitely have enough parts, including the stuff that the wires that you're making out of paper, to get fancy going again.
Fantastic. Well, it wouldn't hurt to do a little bit of study while we do this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
If nothing. Yep, I was going to say there. If nothing else, or we could also let everyone else know. So, if they find others, they can probably do a decent job too.
Well, we can't until we are above ground. We've tried communicating, and no.
Of course, we'll relay the info once we're back above ground.
Also, in my head, I just have like the visual of like when you take old, like just any old thing and make it into like a little planter kind of situation. Like that's the bodies have just become planters.
Yeah, it's very much that. It's very much any of those. Have you ever seen like the pictures of like rib cages in the forest where it's got a bunch of like plant life coming out of it, like a bunch of mushrooms, or like a whale fall when it stops being macabre and just starts being like totalitarian, like very just like this is brutal is the world.
He's so cool, but also morbid.
Well, let's make sure we take only what we need and no more. I'd rather not disturb them if we can help it.
Yeah, I think you guys Leo, can you give me 2d20? Not 2d20, 2d12.
Heck yeah.
That 12 is real good. Leo, you get to one of them, and inside a tiny little like flower bulb is like it raises up to you and opens all of its petals, and inside it is a glowing, we know them as seed stones.
Ooh.
Like
Wow.
this stone.
We don't. The other party does.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We the camera know that as seed stones, and like as you are just near it, you begin to see this room and all of the area around it in its like component parts, and like you can see the wires / ley lines that are making this place work, or like what they're supposed to be, and everything around you is so dimmed out, and like it is just a circuit that you guys need to complete now, and once you do, you can see how the next step and the next step, like, and you can see it like right now why we are doing it in order. We are hitting a fuse box all the way down. Like, so like if we didn't we didn't get the chance to set up why we're doing this in the order that we're doing it the first game. This is why, Leo. Like,
if you do it out of order, you blow the fuse.
Okay. I get how this gets. Okay, I get how this gets reactivated now. Okay, we got an idea. Okay.
Oh, they're bouncing.
Like they're hot. They're like pretty much just bouncing around, tail wiggling, very excited. Okay. We have what we've seen on the moon's map so far. Leo would take out the moon's map and basically explain to him. The reason we're doing this, we need to do this in this specific order. We go south. It's southeast, then south, southwest, northwest, northeast. Then we move to the other side of the moon, and we basically kind of spiral out, and then spiral back in towards this opposite side over here. This is where we need to end it. But we got to make sure we turn these all on in the correct order. So we need to let the crew know that they got to be turned on like this. No deviations, no going early, because that's just gonna mess everything up and we're gonna have to start it all over. We don't get out of the patterns, but as long as we stick to the patterns, we'll get this all correct. And we'll just need to relay that to the crew. It'll be so we go 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we move to the outer section.
So
then they start thinking, are we going too fast?
Are we going too fast? It's a cascading sort of situation, and if you do it incorrectly, it would basically throw off the stream and potentially cause damage.
Well, it's like when you play a game of Reedy Says. You gotta follow the order. If you don't follow it's like if it was like a game, like Simon Says. But if you get the order wrong, even one step, you have to start from the beginning. That's why we have to do it in a specific order. If you do it wrong, everything turns off, and we gotta start from the start again.
Yeah. Or worse, you get slapped if you do it in the wrong order. And I want to see what Moon Slap is like.
Reedy plays, Reedy Says for keeps.
The hardest person to play Reedy Says with is Reedy himself.
Absolutely. He doesn't follow all the rules because, like, technically all of the things he says is Reedy Says. It's like the one moment that he's just a nightmare.
That's where he has true power. Beware.
So yeah. Also, I think it's because of the split form that you're going with right now, Leo, that the push and pull of the energy that Kay was talking about before is like reiterated again here, almost like it's a purpose. Because you rolled a 12, how can you explain it to Nichol in such a way that he realizes that it's like the tides? That it's like magical tides.
He is a Rayman.
If the energy's pushing and pulling back and forth. Wait. Idea. Hold on. Nichol, come with me. I think we got an idea on how to help figure this out for you to use your abilities to assist in this manner. Okay. Kay was mentioning to us how the energy is a bit of a push and pull, a bit of a back and forth, but it needs to follow a certain wavelength, like how the oceans, you know how the tides, they always push in, pull out, like back and forth, like towards the shore. We need to try to find a way to use this energy to replicate that similar push and pull, like if it was an ocean wave. Think you could do that?
Yeah, I think so. So it's kind of like not trying to force the waves, force the energy one way or the other, but more like guide it to go the way you would normally go, and just make sure to give it a channel in the right direction.
Yeah. we gotta make sure the energy lets it, it gets its flow on its own naturally. As long as it does that, and we just guide it to that natural flow for the machine itself, this should really get its energy back powered up as it should be.
Okay, I've actually been trying to work with something like that with some of my personal stuff. So yeah, sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, okay, so each one of you, I'm going to give a total of 2 dice to each of you because you guys have been working on getting this back up and running together. You do not have to roll the 2 dice at the same time. You can take one and then the other. It's completely up to you.
Okay.
I mean, impulsive.
Okay, part was really well.
What happened to roll 20?
And a 10.
Nice, 10's good. It
it's
really
a
looked
mayhem,
like it
which
wanted
is
to be that 12.
I mean, an 8 is good enough. It's a success. We take those. And then we got a 7 until we got
Adventure.
success, adventure.
Alright, so yeah, you guys get the final plugins going, you figure out how to regulate the energy to it, and then it begins to turn on. And Fancy, sitting high in her chair, that upon closer investigation appears like a very flight chair style thing, and under her hands you see controls come up they look very Atari 2600 controllers on both sides. And she opens her eyes and looks down, and she's like, why did we stop?
Well, Fancy, we were hoping you might be able to tell us that. I'm Nichol, by the way. Pleasure to meet a fellow pilot.
So, absolutely. Oh, I am Fancy. It's like, Nichol Trafford.
Yes, Nichol Trafford, yes.
She looks at the rest of you. That's Simmons.
Yeah.
Kate
Yeah.
kind of leans over to Nichol and is like, the information transfer.
She's like, I dreamt
right.
about you all.
You dreamt about us?
Ew.
Yes, you have pleasant adventures. And she's like, but that doesn't explain why we've stopped.
There was some sort of a cascading failure that happened thousands of years ago. We are still trying to investigate what the cause was.
And she's just searching. And she's like, no, my data, I'm cut off from most of it. And she's like, I'll reactivate this one. And
Careful, there's a giant hole in the wire.
And she's like,
We fixed it.
No, the hole that's from the stolen information.
Oh, right.
And she's just like, one moment. No faults detected here. She's like, I will begin powering on. This may vibrate a little.
No faults, but
In the
Henry, didn't you
succulent...
say it was
Hmm?
I'm just gonna cut off because you just said it's a second.
And the succulents begin vibrating all around you, and you all feel the whole place humming again, very pleasantly, very much like an opera singer warming up before her routine, not like an engine turning on. And you can hear two other voices respond to it. And then you hear a third, a little discordant. So there are 4 voices singing at the same time right now, as we have turned on yet another side. And she's like, okay, that feels a little better. And she's like, I still can't get my mind around why we're not turning.
Well, we're working on getting the rest of the Sentinels back up and running. So a lot of them sleeping, but we're working on fixing that. As for the rotation, I hope that. Wait, the day. Do you think the cable that got pulled that got fried had that kind of information? Hopefully not. Would there be a way to like recreate that information for them to remember, or do we need to find it again?
She'll run diagnostics for sure. Like, hold on.
System diagnostics. Defragging drive.
Oh God.
No.
3. Oh,
Well,
and unfortunately I won.
well, you do also have that 20 if you want to make it a reap and sow.
I will make it a reap and sow. That's what I'll do with it. All right, so.
In fact, an adventure reap and sow.
Oh yeah, there's a 7 too. Oh my
shit,
goodness,
there's that
so
7 right there. All right. Yeah, so it's a 20, a 7, and a 1.
Oh, this roll's gonna be wild. Good luck, y'all.
So she detects the issue, and she's like, okay, that's close. I see that. Now, no, the isobulb shall repair that very shortly. Thank you for finding and diagnosing that error. And then she's just going through it. And she's like, oh, excellent. The moon will be, like, we will be back up and running order at any time. Are there any specifications we need to set it at right now? Would anything help you more?
When you're saying specifications, what exactly do you mean? Like, what are the capabilities there?
Side specifications. Would you like to set 1 through 20 or in 1 through 12?
Alan, player needs clarification.
So she is asking you, like, so. One second, I have them set as tokens, I don't know why. We have 12 sides of the moon.
Okay.
We have 11 sides so far shown. What would you like to sync up where?
So, like, syncing the sides of the moon to the sides of Echo? Or...
Yeah?
Oh, goodness.
What sides do you want to tidally lock?
That seems like a really big choice to make.
Fancy is thinking very, like, nonchalantly of it. But yeah, it does feel like a big deal.
So, is it basically going to be, like, syncing up similar vibes from side to side, from Echo to the Moon? Like, I don't know, if I were to do something with folk song with a side, would it make that side that synced more like folk song?
Yeah, that's which side is going to reflect that side of the moon, like which side it gets echoed.
Oh, Christ. Kay is going to talk to the others about this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, this was a question for all four of you, not
Okay,
just
good.
Kay.
Right? What does the echo for the moon?
If there's a link there, does it go both ways, or like?
Well, the moon echoes us, like the planet. So I'm not sure it's a matter of it going both ways and so much
if
as...
it's a tidally locked magic, it goes like goes one way and then gets washed back. So a little bit will come back.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we know 11 sides. We don't know anything about the other sides, really.
Yeah, you
Other
cannot
than
dictate
maybe
12. And
Virtuoso.
you cannot dictate 12. I know that one. Like 12 is the only one that you can't do, and we only have 11 sides here anyway. And 1 definitely lines up with 1.
So 1 is 1. All right.
Yeah. You do not know the dark sides, by the way. Like you you can assign them, but you do not know them.
Were the sides already? Have they been locked before? Is there a historical setting?
Yeah, definitely. Like she's just like, yeah, for sure. Did you want to set it back to default?
No. I just was. Could you like? Do you have a readout of that, or like what were they the first time?
It's probably in the paper.
It appears to be that they were set at on shuffle.
Shuffle. Huh.
I mean,
so
Shuffle,
the side of the
repeat
moon
all.
shuffle, repeat all. Beautiful.
so the sides of the moon before would just randomly pick. Interesting.
Was that preferred?
By who? By us?
Yeah.
Yeah, it never really bothered me. I got to see all the sides.
Mostly I just don't want to force a change if the moon prefers to be on shuffle.
We are here to help and not dictate, right?
Yeah, we're here to help you out. Make sure you doing the best you can.
Like, well, if it was moving again, that'd be the best. But I'm
We're
sure
working on
you
that.
are. You seem to be working on it and be quite capable in and of yourselves. So absolutely, we could leave it. We could leave it be.
Yeah, I feel like that might be best. If we get the moon to move properly, and if its rotation is shuffled, it would get equal energy from all sides of the echo. And well, considering the moon seems to be 12-sided and the echo is 20-sided, it would be kind of unfair to not let the moon see all of echo and be locked out of like 8 sides. That wouldn't be right.
That makes a lot of
Fancy
sense.
nods. She's like, absolutely. Now everybody, you're gonna feel a little jolt, and the whole moon begins to like very, very, very like, maybe not very, very, very slowly. 2 out of 12, 3 out of 12 starts rotating. No, and it starts going exponentially at some point. So like the moon is moving, but so slowly that you guys couldn't even sense it if you wanted to. And she's just like,
motion.
She's like, I was really hoping that was going to be more dramatic.
Maybe it's because there's not enough sides active.
Absolutely. Wake up my siblings. Well,
Oh.
they're not all my siblings. And she's like, you can leave a couple of them asleep.
Do you know of the one named Ferber?
Oh yeah, Ferber. He was okay.
And we should be worried are real jerks.
Well, Mirage took over for Ferber, and she checks her records. It's like, wow, that was the shortest job placement I've ever seen. Oh, or the longest. It seems like she worked. In only 1,000 years, she only worked an hour. Over 1,000 years, she only worked an hour.
So the replacement happened right before the moon was shut down? Huh.
And Fervor reactivated themselves.
Oh, well, good for them. Why'd they do that?
We're not positive that it was, in fact, Fervor who did it. It registers that way, but we are concerned that someone might be making alterations.
Fervor was always one for something new.
Might be a good idea for us to let the crew know to keep an eye out for a active sentinel that's not beholden to a side. Fervor could be either potentially of great help or potentially a lot of trouble. Jury's out on that one, but we'll need to see that. We'll need to see if we can find them.
I mean, doubly so, because didn't someone say before that Fervor ended up on the Echo for a bit?
They did.
Well, they said that no Sentinels had been to the Echo, but Fervor had been to the Echo.
It's just like, he went to the Echo? Well, good for him.
Huh.
It's just like, there's always someone like doing something new. It's very interesting.
Is Sentinel a title?
Sentinel is a job. It is also what we are.
So could it be when Mirage took over for Ferber, it technically wasn't a Sentinel at that point, even though it was, but technically job-wise it wasn't. So even though there haven't been Sentinels that have gone to Echo, Ferber did. Like, I'm trying to look at this with the rules that are in there.
I think I might have misspoke. Like,
okay.
Nobody had gone to the Echo until after.
Until now, okay.
Yeah. Once you guys started turning them back on, that is the first recorded ever Sentinel being on Fervor. On Echo.
How did they get to Echo after we started turning things on?
They're so fast.
Oh, he's part of this place.
It took us a week to get here. They got there faster. That's crazy.
They might not be bound to the same laws that we are in terms of like.
You brought him here.
There it is.
Wait, what?
Wait a minute.
Kay is gonna look at Simmons and be like, "See, this is what I was worried about."
No, she doesn't say that. That's just I think like the character, like player wise, we all know that you all brought him here.
Yeah, see, that is what Kay suspects already. That was the concern. Is that fiction might have, been like, hey, look, a Sentinel, let me steal some information and abscond with its corpse? That's kind of what Kay's suspicions are here.
I don't know how to answer that without you asking. Like, I don't know how did we get to that question right now.
Then again, let me backtrack on that because Kay doesn't know it's specifically fiction, but they do know that something that is red that followed us has apparently taken over this thing. That is where not fiction, but something red that followed us.
Something red. Wait, did Simmons see that red thing again?
Yes.
Yeah, it was on. We found a computer and it was on the screen, and then Kay broke it.
What? I didn't do that.
Henry's just nodding. It's just like, Little fist bump to Simmons.
Leo knows
Shift
exactly
blame,
what that.
shift the blame.
Leo knows exactly what that means. But so Leo gives a sort of like sympathetic nod. He understands. But so that red fellow followed us from the ship to here, took over something within the console, and now something is. We're gonna need to figure out how to. Wait, what if we?
I mean, I could see where it had caused. Like, here we go. Kay is trying to explain the pattern in the code thing to someone else again. It's just like, see, there were disruptions right here in the pattern, so we can somewhat trace it so long as we have the data that we need in order to look through it, but it's a matter of finding the data so that we can even look for the patterns in the first place.
Perhaps we can use a device that could help find that data so that it can be tracked more easily. We've had detectors before. We could probably alter it for this.
I'm not so sure it would be a detector so much as it would be an uplink. Much like how these two uplink to the moon to access the data. It would be like the console, but smaller.
Portable console? I think we could potentially work on something like that. We could, if the three of you are willing, we can go back to the ship and try to work on this really quick before we head on to the next section. And this will give us time to work on that while the rest of the crew is taking care of the other sides in order.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, and we need to let everyone else know about what was going on, so we need to get to the surface soon anyway.
That's true.
Before we leave here, is there anything that we are leaving undone?
That's what I was about to ask Fancy real quick. Is there any particular bits of information, data, parts that seem to be off for you, or are you all good to go on your end?
She runs a quick self-diagnostics and she's just like, no, I believe with a little more energy, we will be able to leave our chairs. And that's great news. The gala is coming up.
Gala? Oh, wait, hold on. What? Gala? Excuse me?
Yes, please explain.
I recall that being... We were told about this from the message from the moon, right?
If they all mentioned the gala, then probably.
I mean, I can't imagine that they wouldn't, because they'd be like, oh my god, what am I going to wear? It might have been mimicking Ceylon a little bit there.
Right. The invitation we got, the Gala Gaia's Garden, is that correct? Or is that something, or is that a book? Man, that sounds familiar. Hold on. Like they start like getting confused themselves. Like wait.
All she has is she's like, I'm sorry, this is all I know, and it's just a little holographic Evite appears in front of you all and just says the gala, and then she says coming up, the date is just less than a month away,
which is wild that they would have this. Given that they've been inactive for thousands of years.
It's been a long time coming.
Maybe that gala was supposed to happen in a month, but then they got shut down for 1,000 years.
I think that's exactly, yeah. It's shut down for 1,000 years, but it doesn't pick off, yeah.
Exactly, so technically for them, it's still a month.
Particularly pertinent, do you happen to know the dress code?
And she's like, ooh, I have this Evite. It sounds great.
Maybe if we, what if we take the data from the Evite and that might give us more details? We'll need to pick it apart a little bit.
Simmons definitely tries to grab it out of the air.
no. And she's like, this one's mine. And she grabs it out of the air and it looks tangible to her. And to you. It's like, no. Like, slaps you on the nose. That's a bad bat.
You know,
It's your
I
own
was
e-bike.
gonna see if we had more cheese, but now maybe I'll just keep it.
Well, maybe I don't want your cheese. Maybe I'm too fancy for your cheese. Have you
It's
thought of that?
fancy cheese. It was very
Oh,
fancy.
is it fancy cheese? Prove it. How fancy is it?
I mean, look at
Show me it. Present the
it's-
cheese.
we did, and then I threw.
Oh, you did?
mean,
To who?
it
To
was
me?
it was fine. No, it Hey Henry,
Are you
what's going
saying
on?
that princess is worth
I-
your fancy cheese, but I'm not? Just because I'm one of the lower sentinels?
I'm
Is
sorry.
that what you're saying, Bat?
No, I just no. What?
Are you
I have
saying
a
that I'm
name.
like reflecting my inner trauma on you? My inner disappointment? You think that I am like doing that to you?
No. Why would you? Why are you? What? You don't like being down here in this cave?
No, I love this cave. This place is amazing.
I
And
was
like,
gonna say
honestly,
the caves are awesome.
look at it. It's just a fancy.
Why would? Okay, all
But
right.
you
so
were
we...
judging me and saying that I didn't deserve
No,
the fancy cheese.
I did not. No, I would just could.
You tried to
deny
steal
it
my
to you
e-bike,
because
and then you
there was
wanted to
added-
deny
I
it to me
didn't. I
cheap.
was trying to touch it.
Oh, grabby bat
Simmons?
paws.
Simmons, what did I tell you earlier about
You did
touching
tell me
things?
that I'm not supposed to just touch random. I'm sorry. That's a good point.
And also that's someone else's belonging. That belongs to them.
I thought it was a look. Here's this thing.
Yes, and you are looking.
We look with our eyes, not with our hands.
Oh my
Simmons.
god.
Pardon us, Fancy.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Fancy's hair gets more and more like, you start to notice it's just a hairnet. She gets more and more of a mom.
Oh my god.
She's just like Reba McEntire from the sitcom, not from like her like musical days.
Okay. So
If
yeah, go ahead.
I know, I was just going to ask, Fancy, if we were to try to procure an invite of our own to be able to attend the gala, would there be someone we need to ask after we set the moon back in order?
She's just 1 second. Let me check what side that hilarious item is on. It's like, absolutely. So for the life of me right now, I don't have my 12-sider right now to tell you which what number this is, because and like you guys didn't do the link up anyway, so it's fine. It's just like, go check with her at the gazebo. It says it right on the Evite.
Oh,
Star
up here?
SVB at the gazebo.
Over
Yep.
here?
So the last side before we go to the dark side.
We'll make sure to relay that information to those that are heading there, to inquire about the gala.
Right, and we'll definitely have to ask him about the dress code. I don't know if I need to wear like dress uniform or just a dress.
Wait, right? Do I wear a suit? Do I wear a dress? Do I wear this? Do I wear that? Ah! Oh boy! We need to make sure we get this correct.
So this one's tomorrow.
Yeah.
For Saturday. This is Sundays.
So this would be. Let's see.
So-
Game signups. So
Saturday
we're currently
is
on
here. Sunday is here.
No,
Yep.
So would that mean Tomb Squad is heading there?
That's right. I forgot.
my God.
I forgot.
Tomb Squad is heading towards where the gazebo
I
is.
kind of forgot that I have it written here. Tomb Squad sets the vibe. Or it sets the tone.
The tone of what?
That's
Yes.
for them to figure out. Oh boy.
So let's go ahead.
Well, Soki, just since I don't think anyone else in the squad, well, Ro might be, not Ro. Anyway, y'all will be informed that we need pertinent information from that gazebo.
Gala information. We'll let the group know.
It's just like, oh my, like they see it, some of your faces drop at realizing that it's Tomb Squad. They are very excited that it's Tomb Squad. Like I have watched all of their adventures. Did you see the time where they ate like 1,000,000 hot dogs? It's fantastic.
I believe they called them glizzies.
It's just like, I have stand.
Extra glizzy.
I'm not sure. Presumably something to do with hot dogs.
This is definitely the twin speaking. It's a hot dog.
Fancy's just like,
a tube of meat.
I used a lot of my energy there. I think I'm seeing double over there. I think I need to sit down for a second. She like lays back, and she's like, "Thank you for helping me turn it back on. Good luck with the rest of the moon. I hope we make it in time for the gala."
Yes. Yeah. Get your rest. You need to be at your best if you're gonna be ready for the gala at your utmost. So rest up, and we'll see you soon. Hopefully.
Yeah, and after we get everything together, we'll definitely have to talk again, trade some piloting tips.
Absolutely. I could really show you what this thing can do.
Now I'm just imagining the moon spinning like a fucking top.
Right?
Just,
Simmons.
God, what are those things? The brain is not functioning. The ones where you like fight Beyblades. There we go.
Beyblades, yeah, there we go. Simmons is gonna like step sort of close and be like, I hope we see you at the gala. I'll try to bring you some cheese. Thanks. And turns and walks away.
You see Henry like looking around, and he walks up to each of you. He's like, "It's been nice meeting you. Good to meet you, Nichol. Good to meet you, Leo. Amazing moves out there."
It was great. It was great adventuring with you, Henry.
Just like truly a joy. And Simmons, Kay, I look forward to working with you in the future. I'm sorry that for all of this. I feel somehow like it was mostly your fault, but you feel like it should be my fault.
I think before we leave, Kay is going to pull out a couple of scrap pieces of paper from journals, not from the important paperwork, and just fold a couple of little succulents and like pass one to Fancy and one to Henry, and probably like, can I put this here so you don't accidentally crush it on Henry? Just as little presents.
Like, yeah, absolutely. Henry will take it. It's like, sure. And then Henry's just like, I think I'm supposed to stay down here now. Oh, and like you see him stand up, like at full attention, and out from one of his like panels, he pulls out what looks like a halberd, but with a succulent on the end of it. And he's just like, "Go, my friends. They've come."
Oh no, they're here. Will you be able to deal with them? We could try to help.
Right, those things need to be set outside, don't they?
Like, they'll get out. They're only attracted to the machines, and he keeps like waving his like halberd, which at the end you see is basically a soft succulent. It kind of reminds me of a pickaxe from Fortnite style. And like he just waves them through them, and they all start to get attached. And like he's just like, "Yep," and he just starts scraping them into the interior of the succulents. It's just like, just don't let them get attached to you. It'll take hours to get them off.
Oof.
Wait, so if you put it in the succulents, it does what?
They all start purring in there.
Oh.
Like the succulent starts reverberating their purrs of just like now that the side is being.
Oh, we would have been in hella danger if the side hadn't been empowered, wouldn't we?
We'll definitely need to relay that to the other crew members if they see these little guys. Just once the side is back open, put them back in the plants. Okay.
Simmons tugs on Kay's like skirt, I guess.
I'm wearing pants.
Pants.
I would not be walking on the moon.
And it's like
in a skirt.
And it's like, can I touch them?
Fancy, is it safe for Simmons to touch them, or will
It is
harm him?
absolutely not safe for Simmons to touch them. He will just get one on it until he hits 0 AP, and that one will become
like
2, then 2, then it'll just keep going.
So Kay
Simmons is learning.
Yes. I would not advise touching them. It seems that they drain our aether.
Okay.
Oh, gracious.
And they are multiplying fast. We should go.
Yeah, time
Onward!
to
Henry's just like, good talking to you. And like, I keep picturing him very much like Guan Yi from Dynasty Warriors, spinning around with this halberd and just collecting all of them, all the little motes onto the end, and just putting them into it. Kind of like a really badass janitor.
Leo couldn't help but watch his his skill with the halberd. Like, ooh.
That is really cool. Man, I halfway want to be like, I'll send you an information package.
It's like,
Just
you don't
like,
have
oh,
to. Just tell the bulbs what's going on.
Okay.
I mean, that's basically what it is. It's like Kay will just communicate with something up top, and it would eventually get to him. An information package. It gets transferred.
The
Yeah, we
moon's
just-
so interesting.
Oh god,
Yeah,
there's
it's
one
just
right
like-
there.
Don't worry about that one. That one's it's in a jar.
Oh, they've already collected one of these guys. How neat. Guess some of the crews a step ahead of us.
Peanut's just looking at it through the jar like, I want to pet it so bad.
Kay is going to explain.
They told me not to pet it, but I want to pet it.
Okay, the reason that they told you not to pet it is because
And the killjoys is what they are.
well, you see, it steals aether, which would end up draining you, and then you would be unconscious.
Right, but then like you guys could get me back up, right?
Also,
Worst case scenario, we'd have more of them. The adorable little things that I want to pet. That I'll give my
Also,
life in order to
just,
pet.
look at the texture and consider that on your fur.
He loses his mind with how excited he is. It's just like, it looks like the best bath I've ever seen.
Oh, you're right. You are a cat. Cats with Velcro tongues.
Just like,
well,
he hops down. He's like, so what did we learn? Like, what do we got? Like, apparently Osirius team like worked out perfectly fine, and they brought back these little guys. This one, actually, just this one. I don't know what image not available. Stop that.
It's really.
Oh my god, there's a fault in the
everybody
code.
else can see it except for us. All the people in the chat, they see it just fine.
Well, there's a few things. For one, what we did learn is that in order to get this moon up and going, we have to turn everything back on in a very particular order. And Leo will explain the order to him.
She's like,
As long as we follow that, the moon will get back to as it should be.
okay. And are we sure that we want the moon back where it should be? Did we? It's just like, I don't want to beat around the bush here. What is the purpose of the moon? Do we know?
It can
We're
move.
learning. We've learned some of what its capabilities are. It can echo, well, for lack of a better word, it can echo the energies of the echo and sort of send it in a sort of back and forth loop, like kind of like waves of an ocean. Like they I'm not sure what's the best way to describe it, but it sort of like takes in the energy and gives it back after a bit.
I would
And
think that
as it rotates.
I would think part of the purpose is that as it's returning the energy, it's probably echoing, like, let's say side 4 echoed to side 1, and then side 1 echoes back to side 6. Side 6 gets a little bit of side 4's energy, so it's like equilibrium, maybe?
Yeah, well, or maybe like it, makes everything flow better. So it's not like, a pond with all sorts of, growth in it there, but
No
more like a river.
stagnation.
Yeah, that's the word.
Mm.
So if we get this moon going again, it should help with. And he like opens up his little notebook, and you guys just see he like pulls out this giant manila folder from his pocket, and it's just like all of Kay's like notes pulled out of the garbage.
Kay is
he's
gonna
just
just see the stains on it and just make a very unimpressed sort of buzzing rustle noise.
He raises one of his finger paws. It's just like in one of his claws. He's like, like you stated that the world has an overabundance of magic at times. Does this seem like how a balance?
Exactly.
Yes.
Because we have all this magic in Echo, but nowhere for it to go. It's possible that with the moon's rotation and taking some of that energy, it will be able to help put a little bit of a balance on it, as opposed to just us being a bit oversaturated.
Yeah, and I mean, I did notice when we got here, stuff started waking up again. I think, was it because of our, bringing some of our magic along?
And it's just like he goes on. Kay, can you go give us a reading on vibes? Like I'm sure, like this is the Luminary station, but I'm sure you can bring up the Mist Station stuff if like you have authorization.
Click, 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 beep.
That's right. Thank you. Roll me 2d12. Actually, roll me 3d12. The third one you can roll separate if you want to, because you gave me those sound effects. Nice. Do you want that third one, or do you want that adventure?
We do kind of need to keep the adventure vibes by Kay's, like, by our understanding, like, it's part of, like, the necessity currently for adventure vibes, so adventure is good. So, yeah.
Like, yeah, you see the vibes that everything around you is resonating with the most, like the petals, it is, like, Kay, it's very useful. It's spreading incredibly far, incredibly fast. And you know what the one word that is transferred between all of these plants is? Very quickly?
Adventure.
It sure is. And Simmons, not Simmons, Peanut's just like, all right, adventure. It's just like, oh, we got to get ready for where you guys have to go next, too. And it's like, we plan on sending you guys out to... and like this is where they're gonna start talking about the fact that you guys are gonna be in the finale, but also appear in other things too. And Peanuts just like suddenly looks up. He's just like, "Oh yeah," and he pulls out the piece of paper. I got a letter from the locals.
Ooh. Wait, locals?
What paper?
It's just like it is in like ancient paper, very. This has been pressed inside of a book forever, and like paper, like folded as close as they can, and like it has a wax seal on the back of the envelope. And like Peanut did not break the seal; he like cut underneath it so he could flip it up, and it's 3 onion stalks coming out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, yeah, apparently the locals want to meet with Krieg. Don't worry, I've got Tobias taking care of it too, though, so don't panic about it. He's going on a picnic.
Oh, picnic.
And I think that's where the episode basically ends.
I did want to check on the stuff that we left in the ship for, but you know.
What stuff?
Samples.
All that stuff we'll take care of in RP and stuff. I will
Okay.
answer those kind of questions there.
Got it.
But just to be clear, we did convey the potential danger in us bringing something to the moon that is red and potentially got a sentinel and is roving. We told him about needing to get information about the ball at the place, but we conveyed all the things that we said we were trying to convey.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like he wrote it on one of those pieces of paper and then just shoved it back in the envelope in the folder. That seems like a peanut thing to do about that.
It's just like little memo. It's just like absolutely fills it out, puts it in there, closes it. Like it's the George Costanza fucking back pocket situation where he folds it again and then sticks it in. Like if you guys don't know that joke, I'm sorry. Also, Seinfeld sucks. Don't watch it.
So long as he didn't fold it into the trash can.
It's very hard to tell the difference between the trash and his manila folder at this point. He has a problem too. That's actually why you keep seeing garbage on the stuff. It's not that he keeps throwing away your folders or your files. He keeps throwing garbage in here.
Why?
We gotta get him some of that new fruit leather paper.
He's down for it. Does it come in a savory variety?
I hope not.
Let me go poke Nika to see if she can get it on the recap screen real fast.
So, you know what? I think that when we get back to the planet, Kay is going to ask Arthur to assist Peanut occasionally in cleaning his office.
And that is the last we'll ever see of Arthur.
Well, no, it's just once a week Arthur's gonna go over there and start cleaning. Arthur loves cleaning. It's great. But he also knows when he needs to go check on his person again because the person needs a lot of help. Emotionally. We're not eating the paper stuff.
So this little guy, don't worry about them. They are perfectly safe. They are not attached to anybody. They are not currently hurt. They are very much enjoying whatever little AP heating pad situation we got them going on. Enough that they don't split. But if we test it, you can figure out how much it takes for them to split. And scientifically, in the game it's 1. If they get 1 full AP, they will split into another thing. Yeah, I'm all set. Let's get ready for the recap. So, what happened today is we followed Kay and Simmons down the hole. Turns out Simmons is really good at falling down holes.
It's the superpower.
It landed in the safe spot, right? Throw down a hole, land safely. The guy started studying a computer. Simmons is not quite as good at computers, or at least he started the game not good at computers. Where he saw...
I'm still bad with computers. I can just read stuff.
Yeah, it's you can take in when Kay explains something to you, but you don't want to learn computers.
Almost as bad as Peanut is with magic. Or not magic, technology.
Yeah, Peanut hates technology, loves magic.
Yeah.
Nichol and Leo jumped down the hole in very much just amazing fashion. Pulled new friend of the crew, Henry Rollins, out of the wall, and then continued with him for the rest of the game. Met with the turned off form of Fancy, who was another one of the succulents, the Sentinels. She explained that the moon should be moving and was very curious why it wasn't. You know that each side has its own sentinel, and there's one extra sentinel out there named Fervor, which appears to have repurposed a body of an old sentinel, what was also its own body, apparently. We learned that this side has almost like a gyroscoping laser effect. That is how it gets the moon going. So once we start powering the whole thing up, it will be able to like create its own gravity. And I think we have a bit more gravity and like a bit better air than we did the last game in the previous games also. So we're breathing better, we're living better. What else? Did I miss anything right there? Like, we could have tidally locked sides of the moon, 2 sides of the Echo, but we decided against that.
We repaired things with leaf paper.
That's fair. Like, just if you just can make up rules on this planet, apparently, like, or they have organic components instead of like metallic or digital components for basically everything that they have.
And of course, of course, we can't forget the Evite and the potential Gala.
That is absolutely true. Like the Sentinels that we have met have been excited about the Gala, and also Tomb Squad gets to set the tone. Turns out. Don't worry, whatever happens at that gazebo, it's gonna go amazing. No chance.
It's gonna be fantastic.
But don't worry, you guys won't have to wait long because they're gonna record everything for their movie. Seth, we can't do frequency for other people's games. But don't worry, there's already a tone for Tomb Squad's game. But yeah, by all means, play for your own games, absolutely. Ro, please don't. Like we have a whole thing going, Ro. Like, don't worry about the Doom Squad game, please.
Good lordy boo.
I do not think Linkin Park when I think Tomb Squad.
No.
But regardless, so we have learned via our friend Henry how to deal with the moats. Like if you get them on you, like try to find. I gotta stop saying like so much. We have to try to find one of the large succulents, and then you can just get them off.
And it has to be in an area with the active power, otherwise you're the active power.
Yeah, like if one of you just reaches your hand into one of those succulents, if it's full of a moat, you will come out full of moats.
So we have an easy way to find one if we need one.
I'm pretty sure you have an easy way to find several all at once, whether you want all of them or not.
Yeah, just ask Peanut. He's probably got 50 of them.
Peanut wants them.
They want him to want them.
Peanut is going to be on the Echo, just surrounded in these. But now we are back on the ship. The crew is ready to go forth with their mission that we know how to take care of in a very specific order. If we don't fill it in that specific order, it like pops like a fuse box. So we're just gonna get to it like a Fibonacci sequence situation. And then turns out tomorrow we are going to be meeting some of the locals. that have asked for a meeting with Krieg to discuss trade. And that is for tomorrow. And I'm good. Everybody good? Do we have any last minute things? I don't think so.
I'm good.
Only thing is just that there was a 7 bingo play that will probably just be settled later.
Oh yeah,
we
we'll
did
take
get
care
a lot
of
of
that.
adventure.
Go ahead and throw it in resolve, and we'll take care of that.
That's about it on my end.
Goodbye,
Alright,
everybody.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Goodbye,
Yeah.
everybody. Thank you for playing. That was fun.